It is now time to look at. Sorry, my dog just went old. Let me try that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Andrea Tessmann.
Yes, Kirk Buchner.
If you're watching, you can see that my hat and my jersey, they match. The carpet matches the drapes, which has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about with Jessie's girl.
No, I was wondering where you were going with that.
I was going nowhere with that. I just wanted to sort of like point that out.
It also matches a little bit of reddish in your beard that hasn't gone gray yet. Just right down around here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not around the chin.
Little mutton chops.
Maybe I should do that. You know what I should do? I think what I should do is I should do the full Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Colleen would love that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You think I don't get a lot of sex now? Let me do that.
So let's get back on topic.
Jessie's Girl, a song that I actually really like. You may not.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's a pretty decent song. It's one of those songs that I probably would like more if I didn't have to hear it so much over the course of my life.
Okay, well, let's open up with that. 1981, that's when that song became a hit. We've talked a lot about number ones that are played over and over and over and over, and some that aren't. Why is this one, you think?
I think it's a really well constructed song.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a bunch of hooks, which makes it an absolutely ridiculous earworm. And it's just kind of campy and easy to listen to. And I think it's entirely relatable in a like teenage lust and angst sort of way, which is kind of weird if you think that Rick Springfield was in his 30s when he wrote this song, or at least when he sang it.
That blew me a bit away. I actually thought he was much younger.
Well, maybe that's because he was dating a 15-year-old.
Wait, what?
He dated Linda Blair from Poltergeist when she was 15 and he was 25. Did you not get that? She's the one who convinced him to get into acting. No,
I went through this like in a completely different way. Maybe because I remember this in its first run. So I know him from General Hospital. So like we looked at this like after we went off the air last week, and I thought about this from a daytime soap thing.
Well, the video, and I admit, as you said, I have no recollection of the video.
Yeah.
And I think we need to talk about the video quite a bit because this is one of the very first videos that MTV ever aired.
Videos. Yeah.
Yeah, because MTV was brand new when this was number one. He pulls that daytime soap throughout the video. He's just got this deadpan stare at the camera. You can just imagine the soap opera music in the background as the camera's panning in. No? Yeah, basically. Pretty much. So this video it's ridiculous. He basically did the whole story map himself and decided what to do. And yeah, it's obviously Jessie and Jessie's girl running around doing stuff and him just kind of lurking in the background, and then he smashes mirror.
I think what sort of throws me off a bit, like when we look at, again, I have to go back to General Hospital. How many daytime soaps still exist?
A lot.
Okay, do they? Okay, because like
not the number that were there in the 80s and 90s, but some of these still exist now. Like they've been going for decades.
Right, but if you were a star in a daytime soap like he was, I mean, that's a pretty big deal because like now that's not quite. Because I think about like, and again, I don't know exactly what is successful in daytime. I mean, I would think like The View and shit like that, right?
There's a lot of that, but I'm just looking for the longest running daytime soaps because some of these, like The Young and the Restless, is still going 30
Well,
plus
Young and the
years
Restless is
later.
something that I grew up with, and only because, and
Yeah.
for those of us in Canada, Global TV ran that at 4:30 at
Yep.
Eastern time. So there was a shit ton of us who actually, you could say like, okay, well, who the hell, what kid watched that? Well, I did, because it was home. It was on when I got home.
Yeah. I watched a bit of The Young and the Restless because I hung out at my aunt's a lot one summer and ended up watching it with her or something like that. There was something silly.
Well, okay,
But,
this might be a bad segue, but I'm going to do this here now. I'm going to do my impression of Victor Newman. Okay. Nikki! Damn you, Nikki! Nikki! Okay, I know that wasn't really good, but thank you.
I got where you were going with it. Apparently, Days of Our Lives has been running for 55 seasons.
Holy shit.
And that's not even the longest running one.
Yeah, I'm so old, and a friend of mine visited me here in Barbados that I hadn't seen her in 20 years. And well, she didn't come here. I just happened to be here, and she came down. When we were in college, we went to we made our own Eric Braeden Film Festival. Who played Victor Newman? which was pretty much, this was before Titanic, right? Because he was in Titanic, so it was Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, so it was like some Planet of the Apes movie, a bunch of other movies where he played a Nazi and shit like that. So, but yeah, Rick Springfield never played a Nazi. See how I segued ourselves back?
I did, yes.
Wow, I'm awesome.
I'm impressed. But so Rick Springfield played a lot of like dude in the background, number 3, you know, guy in the bar type roles. And then he landed the Dr. Noah Drake. Was that his name? Yeah.
That's what I read, yeah.
And so he put out, before Jessie's Girl came out, it was like his 5th album. He put out a bunch of bubblegum crap. Some of it getting actually decent, song here and there, breaking into the top 40. But nothing really getting any traction. And then he scored this starring soap opera role, and they leveraged that into the success of this song, I think. So that, with then the music video playing off that soap opera imagery, and MTV being brand new and people starting to obsess a little bit about it.
It certainly didn't hurt. I think as we're looking back at this particular song, that I just love it. Do you find that it doesn't age that much?
No, it's a classic tale of teenage angst and lust. There's nothing about this girl. He doesn't say anything about why he wants her, except his buddy has her.
I do want to point out, did we record this part after where you said like, this sounds like something skeevy that I would have done?
I don't think that was on the recording. No.
Okay. No, I would not have wanted my buddy's girl. Never do I want my friend's girl, ever. I thought about a time when I was working at a certain company. I won't go into too much depth because someone might figure this out. And someone said, hey, Buchner, you want this girl, don't you? No. Well, she's tight and Asian with big boobs. No. Because that's, Because I met that he worked with me. So no, I didn't segue that at all very well, did I?
No, I think there's the majority of people go, oh, hey, this friend of mine's partner may be attractive, but you have an automatic like switch of like,
For me, I do.
yeah, I think that's very common. I think it's also common among some sets of people that they potentially still lust after. Also, so the background of the song, it was it was written about an actual person, but he has zero recollection at this point because this girl made that much so impact in his life. So he was taking a stained glass course, how to make stained glass windows. And
wait, whoa. Okay, I missed that completely. So he took a course on how to do stained glass, and like he wasn't trying to like, oh God, this is a course where you're trying to pick up some kind of chick, right? Has to.
I mean, I would say yes, but so he was in this course and he made friends with this guy named Gary and Gary's girlfriend. And he doesn't remember the name of Gary's girlfriend. And he wrote this song because he really like thought she was hot, but she had no interest in him because she was there with Gary. And so
Gary's girl doesn't have the same ring, does it?
That's exactly it. He's like, I couldn't call it Gary's girl, so I changed it to Jessie's girl. And apparently when he was on Oprah, they tried to actually track down this woman and they couldn't. They got as far as finding the art teacher who had died 2 years previously and there were no records left.
So Oprah couldn't find a woman like that?
Oprah couldn't find a woman like that. Nicely done.
Thank you. But I've got Gail. Because
it was written about a girl that he really didn't know, who was the girlfriend of a guy who he really didn't know, but was sort of became friends with in this class that he took for a couple of months.
I missed this completely. I totally went through a different angle when we decided to go here. Rick, to me, okay, the song itself though, I've been like really deep diving into power pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this song is part of that, but Rick Springfield doesn't get enough credit, or at least the song doesn't, for being part of the power pop genre. To me.
Yep.
Because like here we got just like a nicely constructed rock song that, yeah, it's 1981. You can take this song, play it now, and play it to somebody who's never heard it before and say, okay, what year is this? And they wouldn't have a clue. And I mean that as a compliment.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't sound current, but it's one of those anomalies that could be kind of shoehorned into a lot of different eras.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the instrument choices with the synth and stuff, you're narrowing it down, but the sound of it is, yeah, it's different.
I think also too what I like about this guy, which I wouldn't have said that when this song came out because I would have been 9, so I certainly remember it when it first was a hit. Since that time, he is really embraced the fact that, hey, I'm the guy who came up with this.
He has fully embraced his B-list status.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
What was it? He was in he played a fictionalized version of himself, and I can't remember.
Bruce. Anyway.
Maybe that's another one that he did. But in Californication.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I watched that series and I forgot that he was in it until I read that, and I was like, oh yeah, that was actually really quite brilliant.
So that I was thinking also too, I just watched him in the Goldbergs, where he played a karaoke or like a owner of a bar, and then he sang Jessie's Girl. with Beverly Goldberg. So, I mean, the guy just knows what he is, and like, kudos on him.
Yep.
'Cause
No,
they're-
he embraces the the B-list. You know, he's never going to be a movie star, but he keeps acting. He's
but
still
he was.
touring.
But he was at one point. I do remember him sort of like right after that. He was in Hard to Hold. You know, so like he tried,
Yeah.
which kudos on him. I've never been the lead in a movie. Although I think I would play great the creepy uncle now.
Mm-hmm.
You agreed way too fast. But yeah, I could do
Yep.
that. Like the creepy uncle. Like, it's hey, it's good to see you here, Jordan.
I'm picturing you as the brother in Christmas Vacation.
Chris, what? Randy Quaid?
National Lampoon. Yes.
Okay, Andrea, I love you, but fuck off. Like, I am not Randy Quaid. Jesus Christ. Like, damn. No, is this what I look like?
No. It was just the creepy uncle vibes and the hey.
Okay. I told Pauline, my hot Asian wife, that I should at some point, we have to go back to Indonesia, where I think I would be awesome as the asshole white guy in every film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just basically like, you know, go get him. Yeah. Kill him. And then I sort of like die at the end of the movie.
You'd also do really well as the dumbass white tourist.
I'd do that too. Like, all right,
Just because you've experienced enough of them over the years.
It would be like this. Hey, what's going over there? Let's take a picture. Yeah. No?
Anyway, back to Rick Springfield.
Thank you. Yeah, back to Rick Springfield. I love this song. I didn't then. This is just a song I heard over and over. Didn't like it, didn't hate it.
You know what my favorite part of this song is? The fact that he uses the word moot. And he uses it correctly. I don't know of any other song that has a lyric that includes moot.
I don't think there is.
Anyone knows of one and you're actually listening, please let me know of any other song that uses moot.
And if you're listening, it's probably because you really like, apparently from what we learned, Pitbull and Andrea.
Isn't it what, Pantera and Pitbull?
Pantera and Pitbull, because like that Andrea drives in the listeners of only the female listeners of Pantera and Pitbull. I drive in nothing. Nobody seems to listen because I'm here.
You are the mesh that ties this whole thing together, Kirk.
Yeah, and mesh is see-through.
It's an important component of the structure.
Luckily, he was not wearing any mesh. Early 80s, you would have worn you could have worn mesh.
That's true. Very true.
Very much so. Very much so. I guess with the whole point of this song, because or also the title of the show, how the hell does it get to number one? Well, it did because this song's great. I honestly think so.
It took a very long time because it was released in February.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make it to number one until August, which at the time I think was the longest duration from a time a song was released until it hit number one. Yeah, the song's great. You've got a fairly attractive lead singer that's got some stardom from
Let's back up. When you say fairly attractive, Does Andrea Tessmann like Rick Springfield?
Not particularly.
No?
No. But he's got a look to him that I can admit is objectively an attractive. He was an attractive guy in his 30s. He's still not a bad looking guy.
And he's in his early 70s now. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Isn't it?
So he so he's got good looks, recent TV fame, the beginnings of MTV, when there's not very many music videos, so they're gonna play your video to shit, and a genuinely decent song.
That holds up.
I don't think it's surprising at all that it went to number one.
No, not at all. He's not a one-hit wonder like I think a lot of people might think he is. He did very, very well. Had a very, very good career and is embracing that song, and good on him. I follow Dee Snider on Twitter, and so there was a recent thing where it's Dee and Rick Springfield just hanging out. Dee Snider looks the exact same, which I think is kind of cool. And kudos to us ugly guys, because we kind of look the same. I'm near 50 and I'm better looking now, as our last guest told me I'm fine. Yeah.
You're holding on to that one.
Damn right I am. I was not fine at 20.
You've matured like fine wine, Kirk.
Or something. I've matured like something. Like cheese, like blue cheese.
Well, your sense of humor hasn't, so I guess it's a good thing your looks have.
Okay, first off, again, the funniest co-host you'll ever have.
Probably.
Unless Brad decides that he's going to become a co-host. And then I'm fucked.
Are you courting Brad to join you on a podcast?
Brad will have to be a regular. Yeah, he's gonna have to return.
All right.
I love.
I'm sure he'd be happy to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I don't think there's any question as to why or how this got to number one.
Okay. I almost brought a prop for our next week, but I forgot.
All right.
Yeah.
Hit me.
All right, I've got a real big piece of shit here for next week. When you have a sandwich, what's part of it?
Bread.
That's what we're doing.
Are we doing bread?
We're doing bread. Bread. Make it with you. 1970. A bunch of guys who decided, hey, how do we come up with the worst piece of shit music that we can do, and let's name ourselves the worst thing that we could ever do, and it's bread.
Do you know that there is a band that literally tried to find the worst band name ever? So there's a Monty Python skit about the worst band name ever.
Toad the Wet Sprocket?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Like, how did you come up? Well, we just got it from a Monty Python skit about the worst band name ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was back in my early 90s. Like, man, I'm all about the music phase, man. I'm all about the music. Yeah.
I like Toad the Wet Sprocket.
I do too. I very much do. I do not like bread, the band.
I do like the starchy, carby food sustenance.
Yes. I don't know what it was, but one of the funniest things that for me as a kid was seeing my brother's album collection. It was and there was the best of bread, and just made me laugh. I said, "This is so stupid." He said, "Yeah, this is what I played with. Fuck." And yeah, it worked for him, I suppose. And on that note,
how
about
you tell us about
enough about my brother fucking.
How about you tell us about your book?
Oh, yes. Hey, I wrote a book. Somebody actually wanted me to ghostwrite their book, and I did. Chavo Guerrero Sr., instant classic. Also, hey, Evan Nolan and I, we do a regular show. We do a Hall of Fame show. Andrea, have you heard our show? Pretend you
I
did.
have.
All right,
I have
awesome.
occasionally. I don't follow sports much, but I've checked it out once or twice.
Yes, sports, music. We look at what we do every week here. We also have a show called Hey, Vinny Makes the Hall of Fame Case for. And that's where Vinny makes the Hall of Fame case for whoever it might be. Chris Bourdain and I, we do a show where we look at, hey, this crap was on national television. We're going to be shooting a show soon about the failed Love Boat pilot.
I highly recommend listening to this one because, yeah, if you want to know what shows to never watch, listen to Kirk's show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at not the Love, because Love Boat was a hit, but it wasn't always a hit. So we actually looked at the Love Boat and a couple episodes where they tried to make it a pilot. So we do that. I have a network. God, I'm a drunken douchebag who's got a network.
Hence why you're the mesh that holds this whole enterprise together.
And everything sort of falls through. I am the Polish submarine.
I'm not getting the reference.
Yeah, it's sort of like why in Poland, like why the submarines didn't work because like they put the door on the wrong part of the.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The Polish submarine.
Listen to all. I'm just thinking a sandwich with some kielbasa or something.
We all live in a Polish submarine. Jazz hands.
On that note.
Yeah, on that note, I think we'll stop.
Good night, everybody.
Stay safe.